conversation with three formidable writer-directors who I've had the pleasure of knowing. Their debut movies and consequent work has been much discussed and much talked about. I'm in conversation with Ashwini Iyer Tiwari, Anvita Dutt, and Jasmeet for the Danube Properties Filmfare OTT Awards 2024, co-powered by Hyundai. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation.
Thank you for calling us.
If you had to revisit one of your films, I mean, of course, you made one, but if you're, is there anything that you would do differently?
I can talk for myself. All the films which I have done, at that point of time, I felt what was correct. And you make a film in a certain setup. There's a certain movement to the whole thing, and everything. It's always like all the right people join the right places, and everything just forms the puzzle. So making a film is like that, and it is जिसकी एनर्जी अच्छी होती है वो पिक्चर सब साथ में बनाते हैं तो वैसे ही होता है so I don't think so I would like to change anything.
Anything about the process or a particular scene or say a climax of a film, something that you would have written differently, anything that you.
But Jets, I think that is a never-ending process. As creative people, we always will always find some fault or the other in whatever work we do. So it's like you have done your best, and now you just need to step
I
back.
think if you make it today again, it will be a very different film.
Yeah.
Because you have evolved as a person, you have been exposed to so many other movies or whatever you read, and you have grown so differently. So maybe if you write it again and direct it again, or even if it's the same script, you will see it differently. I think that's how it will be, but not to change that.
And with you about say Kala or
So, yeah, Bulbul, nothing. However flawed it might be, it was my first film. But somehow she's my firstborn and therefore can do no wrong. So I really would not want to touch Bulbul. It felt magical every moment of it that I was getting to make it, first of all. Kala, yes, like they said, today if I was to look at it, maybe there are things that are my choices might have been a little different. Maybe I would have looked at certain performances differently. I would have, I don't know if I would have written a different film because she wanted to come into being a certain way, and that more or less would not have changed. But I don't think there were creative decisions, whether how I shot it with Siddharth Devan or how it looked with Meenal Agarwal or how she was dressed by Veera. Those are things that I might not have changed. The only thing I might have done differently is the kind of things that I did as a director. Maybe. But for good or bad, however people receive it, that's not in my control. I was really fortunate that I got to make it the way I wanted to make it. And at that point in time, that's exactly how I wanted to make it. So I think that retrospective...
I think you give it your best and you give it your all.
Yeah.
That's how it will be always.
Would you do anything different about Daleks?
Not at all.
Huh?
No, I'm
And another interesting thing about all your movies is the mother character. Whether it is Neepati Sanata, Swara's character, or the toxic mother in Kala and the sexy mother in Darlings. So, mothers are always mothers of heroes or wives of heroes or sisters of the hero or something like that. But here, your women are sexy, they have agency, they have all of it. So, was there any sort of influence from your own mothers? Not that I'm saying your mother's toxic, but I'm just saying, mother-daughter relations are fraught.
another sexy.
Are fraught with a lot of. But I'm just curious to know the mother relation.
The influence is actually from everywhere, whether it's literature and the world that we see. It is a complex and a very interesting relationship.
But because you say that, I mean, it's very fresh in my mind. So I want to ask, a lot of questions were unanswered. Like, my question to you is, now for example, why is she so toxic? Is it she toxic because she feels her child has eaten up the second twin? These are questions to me or is she, why is she so dismissive of her daughter? Because women usually support one another. Why is she so dismissive of her daughter? And what what is her motivation? Like, what is her raison d'etre? And suddenly she has a change of mind in the end and said, I'm taking my daughter home. Why? Why does she do that?
On the face of it, yes, okay, she ate up the twin or whatever, but she is as much, if not more, because she's one generation before, a victim of patriarchy. She knows her position in life is so nebulous, you know, even as an artist, that the only thing that can strengthen her standing in society is the son. So that entire thing from the beginning, when she sets out to train her daughter, she keeps saying that you have to be an ustad,
Not a courtesan.
not a courtesan, because that is. So, by the way, same training women would get in classical music, and the same training boys would get. And the boys would become ustads and pandits, and the women would be the wife. It was just that. And she wanted to protect, very viciously protect her daughter from that fate, which possibly must have been her fate. So she's actually, in a very twisted way, she's a victim of her conditioning and her society. And she's actually trying to, in her mind, do the best for Kala. And even if it means that she will brutalize that girl, but she's like, you cannot falter. Your behavior in
Like,
public.
she just opens the door and throws her out in the cold. Like,
She's-
it's snowing, and
Yeah.
I mean,
She's like, how will you learn? Because just by scolding you or raising my hand at you,
It's not
you are not
working.
getting it. See it from her point of view. You're not getting it. She's not evil. She doesn't hate her daughter. She is traumatized by the fact that now I've given birth to another me. And she does not have the wherewithal or the skills to survive maybe the way I did. And of course, it's wrong how she's going about it. But parenting is something that is, you become a parent just because, I mean, you produced a child. You are not taught. You don't have the tools. You don't know how to navigate the world like that. And that is all that she's doing. She is not evil. It is just that that's what she knows. That's all that she knows. Which is why when that moment happens and she's told that she's lost her mind, and she realizes how far it's gone, that of course she rushes. And at that point in time, care for mental health.
we'll come to mental health. That's very important. Hold that thought there.
It's a very
Both of
long
you,
answer.
your characters also, because she mentioned patriarchy, were like victims of, I mean, if you see what Shefali, of course, has this affair with this younger guy, and this younger guy loves her. But what Alia, like when she says, Beti thi,
Yeah.
and all of that, you can see there is, it's just chafing against patriarchy. And there is, you see Kriti Sanon in Bareli Ki Barfi. There was a lovely, I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, she's drinking with her dad or something like that. So I thought that was wonderful, because it is lack of judgment. And when in small towns, when you see stuff like that, you empower a lot of women inadvertently.
So
So
that is it for me. Most of my characters in all my films has come from some, we admit it or not, there is some kind of insight or experiences we would have seen or we would have gone through, and therefore we put that in our films or in our writing.
is any of it autobiographical?
I would very honestly
It
tell
is a
you
part
that.
of you and everything.
Yeah, so I would very
for sure.
honestly tell you
Your
that
experiences, yeah.
So Nilpati Sannata was purely coming from my mother's insight of that whatever, no matter who you are or where you come from, you have the right to dream. So you are going to be doing things. So right from a very young age, she always told me that you need to study, you need to get yourself educated, you need to work, and you cannot be dependent on anyone. But you also need to get married, but still be continuing to work. And when I say continuing to work, that insight came actually through Panga. And that dialogue where Reena Gupta tells Kangna, Jaya, as Jaya says that that when you win the gold, don't forget to thank your mother. How she पाल पोस के तुझे बड़ा किया, तेरी चोटी बांधी.
Yeah.
All that comes from my mother. my mother had told me that if you win a film fair, I'm sorry, this. I recently had written a post also on that. She had told me that if you win a film fair, please don't forget to thank me. Because when you were going to make that film, my kids were 3 years old, and she told me that just go. I'm there to take care of the kids. You go make the film. You know you won't get this opportunity. I remember when I was making Amma Kanakal, the kids were just like what I had done back to back, right? I made
Nilbatte
Nilbatte
and then,
Sannata,
yeah.
then I went and made Amma Kanakal in Tamil, and then I came back and made Bareli Ki Barfi. So I started making films when my kids were 3, and she was the one who told me this go and do it. So some of the influences have definitely come from those kind of atmospheres where, and I kind of also realized that why are all everywhere, including the short film which I made, Ghar Ki Murgi with Sakshi Tanwar, was about the whole idea that that you're doing the whole thing and you're just a Ghar Ki Murgi because that's what you're always told. That there's nothing more to you than, so therefore I want to go on a break. And then going on a break had actually come from my own house where my aunt had my mother's older sister had said that that why when we have to take a break it just becomes like a big thing.
Big thing. Heavy weather's made up.
Yeah, so I do feel instances and insights always come from the little things you see, and for some reason in all my films the child is a single child because I'm a single child. And unknowingly or knowingly it has come. So Kriti's character as Bitti came purely from the idea, and you would remember this one scene where when Ayushmann Khurrana comes in for the first time and says, "Uncle, press चलाते एक press का कितना लेते हो?" Where Pankaj Tripathi is asking, he said, "नहीं press चलाते हैं, printing press." And that point of time, it's like आपकी बेटी हाँ मेरी एक ही बेटी है, and the way she talks about her daughter is with so much of enthusiasm, she works in the electricity
Pride,
department.
yeah.
And that's what
she's
when
this
mothers
thing.
talk about their daughters, they praise them. And when
They
they're
praise
with
them.
their daughters, there is so much chick chick chick. chick, chick. It's that kind of protection that they have.
Yeah.
कि ये मत कर, वो मत कर. So they are not always saying, "Beta," as she said, "वो खाना खा ले." Of course, they will ask those questions.
Even that simple thing,
Yeah.
there's one scene in Panga where Neena Gupta has come home and she has got laddu. And Jaya has told her that get me this laddu. And then she says that, last time I got it, you just wasted it, you're not doing anything. That's exactly how my mother used to talk to me. That she would come into my kitchen and she would, I'm like married now 20 years. And like, she'll come to my kitchen and she'll tell me, why have you been ordering this thing? What is this thing? Why? And I said, can you just leave me? I said, no. Why? You're buying rice, which is this rice. Why are you not buying the other rice? And this is a normal problem.
Correct.
Doesn't matter whether
How old you
I'm whatever age I am today, or even if I've been working, I may be the CEO of my company. It doesn't matter. When I come back home, my mother is going to ask me these questions. And my mother was very educated. She was a school principal. But to come and ask me one day that, Nitish is sleeping, has already woken up and you're still sleeping.
Oh dear.
And I was like, wow. And I used that in Panga. So, those are the little insights we do use. For me, I do always wanted to feel that the women we use in our films or the men we use in our films as characters, and every storyteller has some kind of I think genre in which they want to tell their stories. For me, it was always about, can I as a storyteller inspire someone somewhere to change something in a comic way? Doesn't matter, because for me the idea of Kriti and Pankaj Tripathi having a cigarette together and the opening scene where he's going and saying "Tumne meri cigarette chori ki."
Yeah. I thought that was so cool for
Yeah.
a small town, because all this is like completely
Yeah,
forbidden
that-
when you talk about
That
small
was
towns.
a situation where I wanted to say that, what, in our country, we were so patriarchally strong in terms of how we look at women. Forget education. We all want our girls to get educated, but the relationship between a father and a daughter has never been that of friends. It has always been, after some time, you stop hugging your daughter. So for me, it was that. How do
I think in South Indian families, in Punjabi families, I
You're
think it's
hugging all the
more
time.
hugging all the
Yeah,
time.
but-
I think South Indian families, I've noticed, I may be wrong completely, but I find this certain reserve between fathers
there
and
is
daughters.
this kind of thing, So for me, it was that can someone in the theater look at this film and say, I wish I can
Be like that
be
with my
like
father.
with my daughter,
Yeah,
or
sorry.
or can I talk to my father like this, or is there something we can improve in terms of how a father-daughter relationship could be? Because I would have loved that. So somewhere you just try putting those kind of
Yeah.
little things.
And now for the At Home with Danube Properties segment. What's the favorite corner, your favorite corner in your house? Number one. And secondly, have you traveled
To write or otherwise?
just generally, and have your travels abroad influenced anything in the house?
Favorite corner is my writing room. There is a room where I write. So I have a proper desk and all that, but I have this one chota table where I sit on the floor and I write on that with my laptop. I love it. And that table goes everywhere around the house sometimes.
Munshi wala table. It's like a Munshi table.
That Fab India ka ek one wooden thing.
Munshi
But I have my desk and all that where I write properly. But then many times I just go down. I have the table next to me and I take that table and I sit on the floor and I write. So that's my corner. So that corner is like a traveling corner in the house. I love it. It goes on the bed, it goes down, it goes everywhere. In the balcony.
bookstores
Whatever.
Like you see a beautiful piece of furniture which you bought or stuff like that for the house.
Oh yeah, books and coffee and wine.
It's not just the Punjabi.
There are some small knickknacks, but the house has not been influenced particularly by that.
Okay. Your favorite corner.
So I have a corner or a desk for writing.
Oh, there are some fake art pieces of Dali and all that. But I can't afford Dali and Picasso and all that. I can't afford the real ones. So they're prints, they're good quality prints. Yes, that's there all over the house. I love them. Yes.
So yeah, the table where I write is my favorite corner for writing. Then there is a kursi. I have my house is very beautiful. So all my corners are really great. So then there's one
So our
corner.
next lunch is there.
Yeah.
Decided.
So there's one particular corner which I sit in to read. That's post lunch. That's where I sit. There's a corner which is the balcony on the floor, which is where I sit with Meenal and Althea when they're over. The kitchen when I cook. Then my bedroom is stunning. That's for night, for just lying down, reading, listening to music. Then I have a corner where I have my turntable where I like to listen to music. Then I have a corner where I have my TV, which I hardly watch.
But which is your favorite corner?
वैसे तो हमारे पास भी
all
सब
of
कॉर्नर
them.
है मतलब हम भी कुक करते हैं
All of it.
हाँ
I can't pick one because they're favorite for that one particular thing that I do.
And have your travels influenced that corner?
For me, it's my mind. Those corners get influenced.
But you've not nothing that you've picked up and you've been influenced by, say, a film that you saw and you saw something and you want to use that same thing. Maybe make a wall like that.
No, travel, I think and I travel a lot more in India. A lot. I travel. So I go to Kashmir once. I go to Maheshwar once. I go to Bengal once. I go to the south one. So there are about 5-6 places that I go at least once a year. So I travel through. I just go and I eat a lot and I absorb. And all of that is what you see in my films, how things look and feel, is to do with what I've read and where I've gone.
You tell me you have a favorite corner.
So I've been fortunate enough to stay in a bungalow in Mumbai, and the reason why we chose that is because I love gardening and I have my own garden. So it's just by God's grace. So for me, that sofa and looking out at that garden is something which I love. I have the first thing which I did was I have a drumstick tree. Because the moringa tree has like white flowers which comes, and there are birds which come every day in the morning, and for me that's my time. So that we've been very fortunate. So I put like lots of different trees which attracts butterflies and birds. So you all should come home. In terms of influence, so I have like, and of course, the one thing which I always wanted was like a huge library because I'm an avid reader. And for me, home is home. So like if I finish work, I want to rush home, and that's it. And I can like stay for days at home without even stepping out. That's home for me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
For sure.
So,
Absolutely.
For
so therefore,
sure.
like
Yeah.
so we all make our little corners, so we may have like 2 3 other sofas or something, but I would still come and sit on that one because that's my throne. Like I always tell Nitish, this is my throne. So the throne will have a laptop baju mein, there will be like 2 books. What, just in case I'm bored of this one book and I want to read something else, or there should be a non-fiction also. So when I sit, it's like very funny is because I have like 2 books here, then I will have on my laptop here. I have I started carrying a basket.
दुनिया बसा लेती हूँ जहाँ पे मैं बैठती हूँ.
I started carrying
So
a
not
basket.
into Kindle
that
as yet.
basket is also that that basket is also apna Chennai wala basket, the pink and green woven one. So what I usually do is I get up in the morning, then what all I have to carry from up down, I carry that in the basket.
Basically, you're lazy to
And-
go up and down.
No, but I want everything. I want my laptop. I want my. So I have a desk, but I'm not a very desk writer. So I need to keep moving around and doing my thing. Yeah, but I have no paintings at home. I am a very minimalistic person even in this thing. So I have no paintings. All my walls are off white. But I have a huge library. That is something which I got very influenced. I always thought in my mind that I would be staying in a house in a university. And if you stay in the universities in smaller towns, in a university complex, my growing up years, IIT was a huge influence because my uncle was teaching in IIT, so I used to keep going there. So for me, the B-type buildings, A-type buildings, those little small houses you get. So those houses are like, there are a lot of trees. It is like I would be in a house जहाँ पे मैं एक झोला लेके जा सकती हूँ और वापस आऊँगी मैं. That's the life I always wanted to lead. So in my head, it was that if I was studying in Oxford or something, how would that be? That windows. So the only influence in our home would be that I have those Oxford windows, which and those
Oh, you do actually.
yeah, and those nets which are
Nice.
those tapestry net as the curtains, which you would see in any house,
English house.
in any English house where the sun is not too much, but then so I like that no, you need sun in the house, but I sometimes love that the depressing no sun. Cozy. Where you just put those yellow lights and just
Yeah,
take
yeah, of
till the
course.
children come and create a havoc.
I have to ask you, all of you, when you directed your first, was there an intense moment during the filmmaking where you got stuck?
There's no stuck, but every day is intense. Of course, it's intense. I think it takes.
Because it's the first film, like
don't have
probably
time
don't
to
know
get
camera
stuck.
angles. You probably it could be a technical reason, something, and you're doing in the midst of a real intense scene. And oh my god.
No, that you get stuck. I mean, those are things that happen, but I don't think they happen internally. They're external factors that stop you.
Execution में ना.
Yeah, like when I was shooting, simple thing. There's a scene where after she's been brutalized, the husband Indranil leaves and it's raining. The tanker got stopped somewhere on some naka and the water hadn't come. Now I'm ready to shoot, and everyone is trying to handle it. So I just saw when we were about to start shooting, I saw Anshay, who was the creative producer, Anshay.
Anshay Lal.
He was a creative producer. I just saw him at this tall, 6'2" person loping, trying to look very casual, but walking really fast out of frame. Okay. Thodi der baad when I was ready, and I was like, okay, start the water. Chak, chak, chak sound came and pani came. I shot. Okay. Shooting happened. Then I realized tanker had not come. Anshay has gotten the pump He has run, there's a pond nearby. He has run to, so he suddenly said, pond to hai. And he's Dicky. He was doing gaadi Dicky se chalate. He has run, put pump ka pipe into the pond and pulled water onto the thing. And then when I finish, I've come out, I've seen he's on the chat also with pipe. I'm like, what are you doing? And then I've realized, so this happened, but you get stuck in the sense, a storm came which there was no prediction for. Storm means
That's an intense moment.
lights flew off the building, and we had that location which set up for that one night. We were shooting in the Haveli. We just had like cut to cut. It's a smallish budget film, you know. We had to shoot it in 32 days, and it was like really brutal. And lights उड़ गई, मतलब वो level की आंधी. Lights have flown off the building. Of course, the first thing was, is everybody safe, especially the lighting department, because
Because
they're
a really big thing. Doesn't matter what film are you making, what stage of your
Or
life are you in.
rains, yeah.
Aandi and
You have such an intense
sun.
moment.
We had rain one day when we shot outdoor because we shot through COVID. So once when we were shooting in the chawl, there was heavy rainfall and we had that chawl only for a few
Was
days.
it a set or was it a real?
Interior was all set. Which is a good question. If you didn't realize it, it's a
This
good
is
Yeah, it's a
fab.
great-
So,
great-
I really thought it was a real chawl.
Great. So compliments to Garima Mathur, my production designer, and Anil Mehta who shot the film. Painstakingly, we were like trying to make it look as real as possible because I think we saw some 300 chawls. Because we thought we will shoot in the chawl, but there was COVID and there was of course Alia with chawl and all that. It's very, very difficult. And in Baikla, they don't believe in masks. They feel like it's a conspiracy theory. So they said, as a COVID, kuch nahi hota hai and all that. So yeah, but it was all internal. But in chawl, yeah, once when we were shooting in the chawl, I think we had it for 3 or 4 days and there was lots of rain. So you have to like figure out how to make it work in those 3 days, if not 4. That's your, I mean, that's you
yeah, those are
creatively,
the
you come up with
things.
What we did at that point in time is, after we checked everyone's safety, and then we were like, okay, forget it and all that, and drinks were coming. Like, it's okay. Now it's 2 in the morning.
Well,
now there's-
with us, the drinks are always there.
yeah. So there's Andi and all going on. I said, now forget it. So there was, the Haveli was like this. So no, 2 बजे रात को अब हो गया पैक अप, लाइटें उड़ गई हैं. There's, and now it is, they are saying कि कल तक की आंधी. It's आंधी as in you can see the trees bending like this.
Stormed in, basically.
Yeah. And it's that cyclone level, like Bengal may it comes, no? And then it was, by the way, it was, we read in the papers the next day, it was called, we didn't name it, and the Met department named it. It was called Bulbul. Yeah. Really? And we were shooting, and so we came over there into that balcony. So the entire Haveli, if you remember what it looks like, the courtyard. So now we can see it from that bird's eye view, and full mayhem, lights have all करके उड़ गई. अब lights नहीं है, camera कोई safely, camera department has got. And I'm standing over there and suddenly lightning happens. Okay? The only word I can use is it blossoms over the Haveli. It goes like that. Okay? And I just looked at it and I turned and Siddharth comes running up the steps like that, wet, drenched. Okay? Dekhi, I said, हाँ. He said, roll karo. So, Andi came, Dicky. We shot lightning. We sat over there with our drinks and let the camera roll every time the lightning happened. Like, we were like, very good. And that shot is there in the film, and lots of people think that it was done in post because it just looks unreal. Because it starts over the tip of the Haveli and it spreads over it like that.
It's a gorgeous sight also.
Yeah, stunning.
What's the boldest career choice you've made?
I was studying to become a CA and I worked with Ernst & Young and it was a good career. My mother was so proud. Everybody was proud. The Sardar family, nobody even studies so much. So they were like so happy कि मतलब CA तक पहुंच गई है. Till I said, okay, now I don't want to be a CA. And they were like in shock. They said, but you have a job. Everything is perfect. I said, no, I want to do advertising. And they didn't understand what that is. So I did advertising, which was again a proper job, McCann, O&M. I think that's, we also met somewhere there. And it was lovely, but I said, no, I don't want to do this. I want to get into filmmaking. Writing and directing and assisting is like, then they used to tell people, Ki kuch kar rahi hai, we can't really understand what it is. And they were very disappointed till, of course, they saw how hard one works and how much one puts in. And now, of course, I think they're okay because they have a name to put on what you're doing. But this is bold. Becoming a filmmaker in Hindi film industry is, you have to have a lot of passion. And I think belief in yourself and take risks on yourself and work very, very hard, which I love to do, of course.
No, and it's beautiful. Like, you had somebody like Alia backing you, and it takes a lot of for a first time filmer. Like a lot of my filmmaker friends say, every time we speak to a director, to a actor, they said, but आपका कुछ reference point नहीं है, so how do we know that you'll make a good film?
Yes.
आपने script तो अच्छी लिखी है, but we can't trust you enough.
Absolutely, and you don't know, and I get it, you don't know, but when someone takes that risk, because I know I want to make a good film, but how does an actor or a producer know? I'm lucky that they believed in the script that one wrote, and it happened, I think. But people don't realize the amount of time it takes to get there too.
And
I
also,
was
you're
actually
directing on paper. Actually,
Yeah.
what they don't realize is that you've actually directed on paper. The very fact that it's words now on paper, ink on paper, but first you've seen the film.
Yeah.
That is what you're writing, the film that you're seeing.
Was it as easy for you with your debut film?
So actually, yeah, it sounds like a bold move, but see, again, like what she's saying, you join advertising, which no, you can't explain to anyone what it is that you do. I was in advertising for 15 years, and then I dropped everything and moved to films. I became a dialogue writer. Then I became a lyricist. Then I became a director. I went on floors. I was 47. When I joined the film industry, I was 37. That's the time when everyone is very happily ensconced in their careers and are doing really well and don't want to move. So I've been jumping lines for a very long time. Now, whether it was difficult, it wasn't difficult for me personally to make that switch. What made the switch for me was I wrote Bulbul. I wrote Bulbul and I did not want to give it to anybody else. So obviously, logically, it meant that I had to make it myself. But yes, it took time. It took time before a producer came, believed in the script, believed in
Yeah,
me,
that's what. He
and
believed
said
in
yes.
you.
Because everywhere I pitched my script, first of all, there was no reference point. And lots of times people would ask me, but what is it like? What will it be like? And I'm like, this is the nature
That
of
is
the
very
film.
hard to say, yeah.
And then they were like, but why don't you do something that's up your alley? I'm like, but this is my alley. This no, like a rom-com or a funny film or a film like Queen. I mean, that's your zone, right? I said, no, that's the zone of those directors. I happen to be a decent writer and I can write for anybody. But these are the kind of stories I want to tell as a director. This is my voice. And finally, I got a producer who Karnesh, he read it, he said yes like this, in a heartbeat. Then we tried to go to various actors who asked me questions like, who's the hero? And I'm like, you. You're the hero. That's how, that's also conditioning. And then fortunately for me, Netflix came along. Simran came to India and Bulbul got greenlit. Kala got greenlit. Everything happened like together. It was amazing.
Like, actually, when I was watching Kala, I was like, how would Anvita have convinced anybody about this
They just
film?
read the script.
That's fantastic. Like, Kala's not an easy. I mean, what is the story of Kala? Like, you can't say it in a liner, right? They always say, "Ek line batao aapki." So that is very. Did you face the same thing when you were doing Neelbhatte?
No, for me, what happened was that when the idea of Nilbate came in, I was still working in advertising, and I wrote it, with three other writers of mine in the agency. I said, "Arey chal, screenplay likhte," and they were like, I said, 30 seconds है, 30 seconds का हम 110 page बनाएंगे. So that's how so Saturday, Sundays we used to sit and write. And when the script was ready, I knew Ajay Rai really well that time. That too because Nitesh had just made Chiller Party, and that's how I kind of knew that okay, there is this EP, I can just go and meet him and just give him the script, because I used to like the idea of writing and creating stories. So I went to Ajay and I told him that I have this script and you just read it and see whether you like it. And he read it and he said that you've written it so clearly, why don't you redirect it? And I think I should thank Ajay, because if he had not told me that, I would not be sitting in front of you. So
But you didn't want to before that at all?
no, the thought has not crossed my mind is because
Wow.
honestly, I was at the peak of my career. I would have, you know how advertising
Yeah.
at that point of time was like, I'm talking about 2013, 14. We were at the peak of the best
Hmm.
advertising campaigns were coming
Hmm.
out. I was in
Yeah.
an amazing agency. I was handling so much of work. India, Southeast Asia. Like my mother used to say, "Oh, going to Cannes every year." You know, so there is this
Correct,
like
correct.
kind of
There's a-
thing. You're already set. When you're set at the age of 33, 34, then it's like, you know, everything is there. Now, why do you want to shake
the
up
boat.
anything?
Yeah.
Because it would just be going to the next level of work. But it was my boss, KV Sridhar, who we all call lovingly as Pops. And I think he's someone I really owe to, who told me that, you know, if someone is giving you something to do which you have always wanted to in your subliminal ways, because I've seen you that every time there are ad films happening, we used to do so many ad films, I'll go sit with the director, we'll be literally like brainstorming and, you know, doing the short breakdown, then sitting on the editing, doing the music, doing the VFX. So we have, and I've worked with, that's why all of them are my friends, is because I've worked with Gajraj, I've worked with Amit, I've worked with Amit Trivedi, like we all have worked, all of us have worked together, Sudhita, like that's why we all like know each other, we all like support each other's work, is because it's so important that all creative people just support each other's work and let them all shine. Yeah. So for me that was really important, is
Yeah.
because my training ground honestly was about going for all those ad film shoots with whether it was Sujit Da, whether it was Gajraj, whether it was White Light, you know. So we have done so much of work that way, and my learning has come from there. So when he told me, I was like, oh, okay. And what Pops told me was that you don't worry, go, take a sabbatical, go, shoot your film, come back,
And you'll still be there.
and we'll still be there. And if you love it, just go. And otherwise, you're still there. And you have provident fund gratuity, which my mother told me. So I was like, okay, provident fund gratuity is there. And Mark, and imagine to do that when I could have easily done it, is because I was married, Nitesh was working, so it was not like this thing, but still I was so ingrained in my mind that no, I'm not going to use his money. It's like I need to figure my life.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened, and then the process was there. So I thank Ajay Rai a lot for that, and Mukesh Chabra, honestly, is because Ajay went to Mukesh, and Mukesh was like, we have this script, and Mukesh said that, okay, fine, I think Swara will be really good for this. I still remember meeting Swara in that what's that, Jam Jar, and yeah, and the first time I'm talking to an actor, because I was behind the scenes in advertising as a writer, as a creative director. I'd never directed an ad film. So it's very easy to say that, okay, fine, we'll do this, and then you go on to, चलो अभी हम लोग इतने सारे ad films बना दिए तो अभी direct भी कर लेंगे हम लोग. I think that would be very egoistic of me to say that, is because once you're on floor, there's a lot of other things as a director. I think we're managing. It's about people. It is about when one thing goes out of control in terms of timeline, and the EP looks at you, everyone looks at you. Should we do it tomorrow? Or should we just do it today? And all your heads are turning on you, and you're like, okay, the decision now. You're becoming an HR manager also. So you know, there's a lot of other things. And I just did it, and then Nilbate Sonata happened, and I still remember Nilbate Sonata happened. I was coming back from Agra. It was via Delhi. I was very bored, so I looked. The shoot had just finished, and I was browsing through, and I saw this book called Ingredients of Love, one French book. I said, it's a very quick read. Let me read. I read avidly, you know that. So I said, I read it in the flight. I loved it, and I came back home and I told Nitesh that I've read this book. I just want you to read it. And he said, you've just finished a shoot. You have like some 3.5 years sitting, and you're talking that you just want to make this into a film. I said, just read it now. See, what do you think about it? And that's how Bareli Ki Barfi happened. And Bareli Ki Barfi also happened because Nitesh had just finished, I think, Bhutnath Returns with Renuji Abhay, and we had worked with Sir for a Tide commercial. and Renuji and Abhay are like amazing people. So that time Renuji had asked me that if you have anything, Ashwini, I would love to produce it for you. So again, it comes to the same thing that you need people to have faith in
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And it also happened is that Nilbati Sonata had happened, and Ekta had come to meet me saying that I really like this film and we should be making more films together. And I still remember Ekta met me at Indigo Delhi in Andheri, and she was giving biscuits that's her daily ritual. And she said that, okay, chal kya banana hai bata. And then I got a call from Jungly Pictures. And they wanted to make a film. So I think it usually happens, na, एक picture अच्छी चल जाती तो आपको बहुत सारे calls आते हैं. So वो वाला सबका टाइम आता है वो वाला चीज, तो मेरा वो वाला टाइम था कि बहुत सारे कॉल्स आ रहे थे मेरे को. जंगली पिक्चर से भी कॉल आया मुझे. तो फिर मैंने रेनू जी को बोला कि आपका ये वाला फिल्म है, why don't we talk to Junglies, because I have like a film deal with them. And that's how Bareli Ki Barfi happened in Jungly and thing. So it's all, I just feel कि जिसका जो डेस्टिनी होता है वो टाइम पे होता है, और वो
You keep working and then you connect the
keep
dots.
working,
Everything
yeah.
comes in play.
Yeah, and you just need few people to believe in your idea. To believe that, we are all here, like how she said, is that we're all here to do our best. We all here left everything to do something we're so passionate about. All we need is a little belief and someone to say that, you know what, things will happen and we are believing you. It's the same way how we believe in actors. The actors also need to believe in us. So it's like a thing.
That's interesting what she said, which is what comes to my next question. How easy or difficult it is to direct actors? Give me an example where you felt you were stuck, or you felt wow, it just all blends seamlessly.
It was very simple for me in the sense it's not about directing actors. I have a character that I really know well. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour whatever I know about this human being into you. Okay, so I prep a lot. Okay, and but there are some actors, for example, Amit Syal in Kala. He was shooting something. He is so good. So that's the thing. Rahul Bose. Again, these were busy people. They are actually the stars. Shostika. So they didn't have that much time. Say as much time as Tripti gave me. At that time,
Correct.
she wasn't doing much work. And
I feel so bad. I mean, I have to say this on camera. Like, everybody talks about Tripteen Animal and Tripteen this. This is like, please, I urge. Even today, I put an Insta post where I said, please watch Tripteen Kala and Bulbul before you make any kind of value judgments.
No, she's an incredible actor, and she's a director's actor. She will become what you make her.
Yeah.
So, and that is exactly
for all actors.
that's for all actors, and
They
that's
surrender and
exactly. So, what all I'm asking for is surrender to the character in the story, not even to me. And आपके पास जो सवाल है, जो आप जानना चाहते हो about this living, breathing human being that exists on paper, I will give you that. And for me, it was as simple as that I know everything about this person. So whatever question that an actor asks, it always comes from character, motivation. Why am I doing this? No actor, by the way, that's something I understood in the prep of my first film. No actor is actually asking, oh, how should I do this? No actor wants to know from the director how they should do that moment or that action. They want to know why. और मेरे पास हर why का जवाब है because I've written it. I know this person. You can wake me up from deep sleep and ask me what happened to this person when they were 5 years old. Or even if you give me an imaginary situation, suppose this person was coming back from school and this happens. How will this person react? I will know. Because I wrote this.
Yeah, so what
Same
she's saying
thing,
is so
yeah.
right, is because I've been also very fortunate to work with all actors who surrender themselves.
So it's not difficult
It's
directing
not
actors.
difficult.
Not at all.
Not
They
at all
and they are
difficult. And
wonderful.
He's like,
very,
okay.
also
They
very
are
No, I think
wonderful.
everybody has a different process, is what I
Process.
felt.
Yeah.
Because for me, Alia had a very, of
Yeah,
course, she's very
seasoned
busy.
Alia and Shefali, like how
They
are you
all are very
directing them?
different. And
Yeah.
they all had a very, all four
Give me
of
an
them.
exact specific instance on that.
With Alia, you keep, okay, as she said, you pour the character out. Obviously, as a writer-director, you know their backstory and everything. With Alia, she is listening and not reacting. But you know when she comes on set that she has heard every single word. So for the readings also with Alia, I'm like, okay, let's do these readings. I think she does it only to tell you that, listen, I'm understanding what you are saying. Because she is talented and she's very spontaneous. She doesn't, and she remembers all her lines. She never forgets her lines. So she comes very prepared. So lines is not an issue and I don't think they need directors for that. But to know who the character is and why they are doing it, as she said, you have to keep pouring that out and telling them who they are in the kind of time you get with them. So with Alia, of course, she's very busy. You have to respect that time. But she gave me a lot of enough prep time, what we needed. And she is really, really very good. With comedy, what also happens is that you need to be spontaneous. With Shefali, she said, we spend a lot of time. With Shefali, it's like you sit and you have biryani and you chat about the character, about the film, about the world of Baikala and all that because the film is based there. One day she said, I want to hear her. I want to hear her voice. I want to know what she sounds like. Now, obviously, I was narrating with all my skill, but I had met this lady in Baikala who I knew is Shamshu Nisa. I said, will you meet her? Are you sure? She said, of course I'll meet her. And we had just had biryani with her and we had like a 3-hour conversation and she said, I got it. So she found her tone, the way she wanted to act, because she wanted to hear the voice. With Vijay, he's like FTI, right? He's a method actor. I spent, I think, 3 to 6 months with him. We used to just figure out how to play drunk really well. It's because he's drunk and violent and he has to crack dark comedy lines, There is a lot going on and how to like control, because, drunk people are trying not to be drunk. They are not showing that they are. And alcoholics are very, very different kind of, they have a shot of whiskey first thing in the morning, which we realized from lots of our research. So that's why he's doing that. So he's not really drunk because he's used to this. He's immune to this. He needs it. It's like his life. It's fuel. So with him, we used to like really act out scenes, see how to play. In fact, we did a very, very interesting exercise with him where he had, he's a very happy drunk. So we said, okay, we'll do it how it looks on camera as to how you will act if you were really drinking. He wanted to do that exercise. And we did it and he was acting out all the violent scenes with a smile. Because he's a very happy drunk.
That is so
It is really,
Yeah. So I said, listen, you have this little strange look on your face. And we watched. He said, I don't want to watch it. You watch it and you figure out if you... Of course, we didn't want to act out the scenes drunk. He's a very good actor. He doesn't need to do that. But we wanted to see how he would act differently. And that was a great exercise. So this is so much fun.
But I think also it is about how directors, if you're working with multiple actors, I think it's very important to understand, because you're one director, but you have multiple actors and every actor has their own rhythm
Absolutely.
and space.
The
So
way
you
you
get into
talk
that.
to a Shastika is very different
So
from
for
the way you talk to
example,
Sial or to Trip.
Acha, so that is there.
So
You
for
have to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
cognizant.
You're not saying the same, you're not using the same language. With Sial, I'm like backslapping and saying, Hindi mein kuch gali de ke I'm telling him. And with Shastika, I'm having a quick, intense conversation, which is segueing into some sari shopping type conversation, but bringing her back half the time, reassuring. Actually, with Rahul, Sial, and they say one thing was clear from day one: we cracked the thing that you're not bad people. Once we crossed that bridge, that Indraneel is not a bad man, that Urmila is not a bad woman, that Shumant Kumar is not a bad man. They had to believe that. After that, it was, and they are such seasoned actors.
Yes.
Now, but when I'm talking to, say, a Tripti, the language is very different. It's a very emotional, gentle, and also because she's
Like Tripti told me an interesting thing. She said, the love Anvita gave me on Bulbul was missing in Kala.
Yeah.
She was not talking to me. She was being abrupt. She was being
Yeah.
rude. And then I realized she was getting me into a zone.
because she
You
had
know?
to feel abandoned all the time.
Yeah. She's saying nobody in the unit, everybody was being
Terrible
very...
thing to
Yeah.
do. But
You are a very horrible person. I hope you know that.
I don't know, when we used to pack up, I was really loving. But on set, I used to, the way I had to be with her.
But tell me, when you're doing this, don't they see through that? Like you're doing it because of that? Did she ever ask you that?
Yeah.
I always wonder this. No? They
But
don't?
she
I'm
recently,
very-
like last week, she mentioned it. to
But
me.
I have experienced this thing that the day there is a very heavy scene or
I always
something
wonder
where,
this.
yeah, where there's like a fight happening or something, I have known that my actors have been like in this mood, especially Raj in Bareilly. It was, I still remember, and when you're working with 3 different actors, and like yeah, and all of them like really nice, and then you have like not 3. There was one scene where I had like 5 actors, and all of them
In the
good.
house.
Not in the house, in where they have to cut the ticket. And it was outside. We had gone ahead of Lucknow and we were shooting there, and it was like really far away, and the light was going, and we were just kind of getting very hyper.
So good.
Yeah. So there, I have to tell you all. So and what I really like is that when it all becomes a family, and all the actors are together, and they just become. I hate calling them actors, is because then they're family. There are all these bunch of people who are all trying to
Yeah.
make sure that everyone is helping each other and become their best version. Is because when you see a scene, it's just not about, oh, I'm just looking at that one person. It is about everyone and the timing of everyone, and what happens when he's talking something. How does he reciprocate? How does she reciprocate? And for me, I still remember I had given one T-shirt to Raj, and Raj calls me bestie. I mean, that's the kind of we have immense love for each other, although we don't talk to each other every day and all that. But there's this sincere respect and love for each other. And he said that he wore it, and the costume stylist came and told me that, man, he's not liking the T-shirt. I said, okay, change it. And we had already shot a little bit, and he wore another red T-shirt, and after that again he came and said, I'm not liking this T-shirt. I'm not feeling it, because that scene was very like, there's a lot happening in it. And I was like, okay, my light is going. I have to finish the shot. But I must admire Ayushmann and Kriti and the other actors over there, where everyone is like, okay, ठीक है यार, नहीं हो रहा है ना, चल दूसरा T-shirt पहन ले तू. And that also motivated everyone to start doing better. And then Raj wore that. So then I told Raj, okay, Raj, why don't you choose what color T-shirt you want to wear? Because for me, the scene is important. For me, I really doesn't matter unless I'm doing a very art-directed scene. Here it's an outdoor shot. I just have to change the continuity later on for the next scene. Wear whatever color you want. So can I wear a yellow? I said, please wear a yellow.
No, because sometimes and that's something that I've learned, that
Yeah.
some people, when the clothes, they suddenly become the character. All these things, it's a mask.
But you know,
Yeah.
Whether
sometimes
it's
what
what they
happens,
wear.
like with
Here-
Alia,
here's
because
some
she's getting
music.
beaten up, she said, should I wear pale because it's a very, very different, because she had just lost her baby. I said, but you don't know that. When you're wearing the clothes before that and he's going to hit you, you don't know that you're prepping for a pale outfit. So you have to wear what you're wearing and let this happen, and then you'll feel worse for this. So you have to.
Yeah.
So you don't have
So
to be
it
pale
does-
because it's a sad scene. So then when they understand that, of course.
No, like I remember Swastika is fully art directed in the first few things. And I was like, what a and she's looking beautiful and gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then suddenly towards the end of the film, you see her like this banshee, and she's
Yeah.
all in dark, and
Yeah.
I'm guessing that also affects the mood of the actors.
Absolutely.
Like,
What they're
she may
wearing-
just, for us it may just be a t-shirt, but that t-shirt may have
That T-shirt
Yeah.
really helped him a lot, and I think it was all the energy of everyone around who was helping, saying that, okay, fine, no problem, we'll just go through the scene again. And we had to come back the next day, but we were all okay, because at the end, it didn't matter whether he changed that T-shirt. All that mattered was what was the camaraderie there, and how did each one evoke the expressions. And maybe there would be another scene where Ayushmann would have needed that, and Raj would have helped him. And also Raj has this habit, like you were talking about processes. Ayushman's process is very different. Kriti's process is very different. She's an academic. Like she'll sit on the first bench and ask 100 questions. I told her that you would be like my worst student in the class if I have the
Yeah,
teachers.
yeah.
She will ask you questions, like 100 questions, and they're sometimes really nice, and sometimes it will be like Kriti, bas, abhi, abhi hum kaam karte. hain."
मत पकाओ मुझे।
No, but that's okay. That's fine. In the end, it's
They're
all
all they're
It's
just
all
like they're
love.
all
So-
different people, right?
Yeah.
So they react to how we react to things differently. They come at it from a different way.
And
The thing
basically,
is,
everyone's looking for validation.
And the most important thing was that how each other influence
no, they have to feel
people.
safe,
Yeah.
not validation. They don't want to be praised. They want to feel safe enough, and that's something that I feel so grateful, because when we talk about surrender and what we're talking, all these lovely things that she's saying about Raj and Ayushman and everybody, it comes from a place of them feeling safe. They are going to come there, become who you want them to become. So they're going to be naked in front of you.
And the world eventually.
They are,
yeah,
and the world.
Yeah.
And
So
people
they
are going to
just
see them.
Nothing.
Yeah.
They're just going to be nothing for you, right?
And the
And-
camera sees everything.
They have to feel
Yeah.
safe. They have to feel.
They have to feel very, very safe. I'll give you a very simple example. In Panga, Kangna comes from a very small town in Madhya Pradesh. They stay in a railway colony. So you wouldn't go to a shop and you'll be like buying salwar kameezes. So it was like, what if she was going to a tailor and she was stitching her own clothes? So there would be a lot of florals and, a lot of these things. And when Kangna wore that, she said that, Ashwini, what do you do every day in the mornings? Because I just feel that, there's so much of plants here. You've grown like a whole garden. I literally grew a whole garden where all the neighbors also started getting all the vegetables from there. Because I just felt that for her, that was her world. And then it is about her feeling comfortable and saying that, okay, fine, मैं सुबह ना ये चाय की पत्ती में मेरे को वो एक ही time मिलता है सुबह before the kids wake up. I want to go and smell this tulsi because that's my only time with myself.
So basically, what she's
Do
talking
you
about is the
do that?
process.
Do you do that? I said, yeah, I do that in the morning because I get up at 6 in the morning before everyone wakes up because I just want my time. After that, it is like, bell ringing, what is happening.
They'll
wo
understand the
chahiye, ye
character from
chahiye.
that small
So
one
they keep
action.
talking.
Yeah.
But I must say, I think all our experiences that when you work with really good actors, they remember their lines really well. They ask you questions because
Like she said,
everyone
why?
wants to be in the same wavelength.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is like one little anecdote which I would like to say, and that's the experience which Seema Pava and Pankaj ji and all come with. So there was one scene in Bareli Ki Barfi where yeah. So Pankaj ji is outside, Seema Pava is in the kitchen. And just before that, we're just going to be breaking for lunch or something. It was a last scene before lunch. And they were saying, यार बहुत भूख लग रही है, पता नहीं आज क्या है, खाने में क्या बनने वाला कुछ पता नहीं है, ठीक है देख लेते हैं and all that stuff. Seema Pava goes inside, Pankaj ji is out. Ayushmann Khurrana comes in and says that same that छपा लिया है card, कितने में छपा है and all that stuff. And Pankaj ji says that this is my daughter. Seema Pava comes out and she says, oh, my daughter, are you married? All that stuff is happening. And then that whole commotion is there and Seema Pava is inside. And Kriti and all are outside. Now, by the time the scene gets over, Ayushmann when he gets hungry, he gets really hungry. You need to feed him. Like there was this thing, कि यार इसको खाना दे दो. And he would like usko chart anything which is there. We're shooting in Lucknow, so it was beautiful. And by the time the scene got over, we all said break for lunch. And Seema ji comes with this bhindi ka bartan. She's made bhindi ka sabji
She's
On set.
actually made it
On
on the
set.
set. Oh my god.
And we all are looking and she said, बेटा तुमको तो बहुत भूख लगी थी, बैठ जाओ अभी खाना खा लेते हैं साथ में, रोटी तो बनाया ही होगा. मैं सोची थी अंदर बैठ के क्या करूं, तो भिंडी दिख गया मेरे को, क्योंकि we had a bhindi scene I think later, so she must have seen, the art director must have kept all the bhindi. कांदा तो था ही तो मैंने बना दिया, अब बैठ के खाते हैं सब. That's joy.
That's
That's
joy.
what we all look forward to.
Yeah.
Tell me, what's the worst piece of criticism and the best piece of advice that you've received?
To just keep doing your work, and doesn't matter what the noise is around you, to just keep doing and and just do your best work every day, because there will be some years which will be great and there's some years which won't be great. So you just have to keep doing your work. And I think fame, all these things are very,
Ephemeral.
yeah, it's very transitory. Today it is there, tomorrow it is not there. Today there will be 10 people asking for you, tomorrow there might be no one who's asking for you. So yeah, I think it's just important to be very grounded and just to keep doing your work and not make the, like, I love films, I love direction. I would give my heart to make films anytime. I would love to work with the amazing actors we have. We have still so many actors I want to work with, whether it's Deepika, Alia, Rajkumar, Aishman, Ranveer, Shahid. I mean, it's Sania Malhotra. I would love to work with Sania. I mean, it's limitless, the amount of actors we have. It is just that I think we need to be very patient and we need to be like saying, okay, just do your best and let's not make films our life. Because what happens is that when we make films our life, with the amount of things which happen nowadays, it just makes us very complicit in terms of the questions and why did we get into making films in the first place. So I think that's like to just be grounded, to just do your work and just be happy.
Anvita,
So actually, the best piece of advice I got was, there's a film called Chupke Chupke, which Gulzar Saab wrote the dialogues for. Have you seen it?
several times.
So there's a scene when Pyare Mohan, which is Dharmender, comes as the chauffeur the first day, and he comes and James, okay, which is Keshtu Mukherjee, comes and says, "Aaj gaadi nahi chalenga, गाड़ी के differential में लफड़ा है, ठीक है?" So, and of course, Om Prakash is like, "Oh no, what will we do?" and ये वो, and Dharmender says, "डिक्की तो ठीक है ना, हम गाड़ी डिक्की से चलाएंगे." That is the best piece of advice I've got for everything in life.
There's always
Because
a solution.
differential में हमेशा लफड़ा होगा, आप डिक्की से चलाइए गाड़ी. So you find a solution regardless of what is. There's always there
डिक्की से
is.
गाड़ी चलेगी कैसे?
अरे भाई वो बात की.
Sorry, I'm
वो
asking.
metaphor है, वो metaphor है.
I
वो
know,
बात की
metaphor
बात
है.
है.
वो देख लेंगे.
वो देख लेंगे.
Figure it out.
रिवर्स में चलाएंगे ना.
I don't remember this dialogue. I
Oh,
wrote this
it's
film
a
very well. but
outstanding.
I didn't
It's
know
like-
this film very well.
This is going to be my motto also. It's like literally like the universe has a plan.
And the worst piece of, or something that made you like something, like she said,
No,
you're
I
finished
think
as a filmmaker.
criticism in the sense, I have this friend, one of my closest friends, my best friend, Althea. Okay, I wrote the story of Bulbul in 2010, 11. Okay, the story. And I was like, it filled me up. I loved it so much. It was some 3 pages. Okay. And she was, of course, the first person to read it. And then many people read it. And whenever the chance arose, which usually involved being in the evening with ice clinking and certain kind of glasses, I would talk about her. I would talk about Bulbul. But I would not write it. Okay. Somewhere I believed at that point in time that I don't know, I was a little afraid of her because I was like, I said, I used to think that I don't know if I have the chops to write this. I've written dialogues. I've written rom-coms. Now this story has come to me and she's got claws and teeth and she's angry. And I love her, but I don't know how to contain her. And I'm a little bit scared, but I would talk about it. Till I think one fine day, Althea just got completely fed up and she told me, "I want to talk to you." She says, "I am sick and tired of hearing you tell this story. What's the point? If you're not going to write it, so because it's possibly the best thing that you will ever write. As of right now, you've not written anything like this, and that's the very reason you should write it. Stop making excuses. Stop lying to yourself. And when she says lying to yourself, as in I'm lying to myself by saying that I'm not good enough to write this. She says, you thought of it, that means you can write it.
But that's good advice, no?
But see, that's she.
It's constructive.
She demolished you first.
She demolished me. Not only that, then she pushed me. It took me again 2012. One fine day, she literally, she was like, just go now. I want you to book your ticket right now. Because that time I was to go leave the town to go and write. She said, where can you go to Goa? Goa is close by. She literally, while I'm on the call, she's made me book a ticket to go and leave with laptop and notebooks and all that. And go now to write. So now I've landed up in Goa. And then she's called me the next morning, what have you written? And I said, no, I've just gotten here, have a heart. After 10 days, she called me. And she said, how far have you reached? I said, no, I'm getting in the zone. And that's when she took off again on me. And she says, I mean, what's the point of you? She said, I'm going to call you in the morning. I said, babe, I write at night. And she said, no, that stops right now. I'm calling you in the morning at 4:30. She woke me up at 4:30 in the morning, stayed on the phone while I brushed my teeth, washed my face, made coffee for myself, sat down. She said, now you're totally awake. And she did this for a week. Every day she woke me up.
Solid.
Woke me up, and then I started writing. And I used to send her the day's pages. So 10 pages a day used to go to her. Aaj ke 10 page, aaj ke 10 page. And I would keep, she was my first reader also. So yeah, she can really, she shows me the mirror.
It's no bullshit. She calls you
We
a
all
man.
need to have one friend.
One Althea.
And you need an Althea. Everyone needs an Althea in their life, because that kind of
I have
love,
one.
with that force that's coming, is what saves you.
Yes.
Good advice was what I think dad always told me, ki suno sabki karo apni. Where because you have so much noise sometimes, you just need to cut it and go with it. But what that does is doesn't mean you just go on your own spree. You have to do your own thing and make it work. And that gives you, I think, a lot of energy to go and make it work, which is why I could actually bounce from career to career and land up in this world. So I think that really helps me when it makes you responsible for your own actions and it makes you take your own decisions, that kind of advice. Criticism, I don't know, because I tend to cut that out.
But somebody must have said something stinging.
About the film, when I gave the script for feedback, a lot of people said that this is a violent film, how can it be funny? So, but I said it will be, because I will do it in this way and all of that. So maybe, but I don't know if that's a criticism, but I think once you take that into account, you also just re-look at your script. But I didn't change anything and it landed up being funny. And I think that person saw the film later and said, I laughed my hats off. So that was great for me. I was very happy that he admitted it. So I think it was really gorgeous because he did have that criticism. And if I had taken it seriously, then I would have questioned my script, because it's a dark comedy. But I did not, and he's somebody I would look up to for advice. So he's not somebody who doesn't understand cinema or something. But he came to me and he said that. So I was really very, touched when he said that.
One thing I have to ask you before I go back to this point. Both of you had your films released in the same year.
Kala and Darling.
Kala and Darling. So was there any sort of, what did you think of Darling? Did you all have any kind of conversations with each other?
I love Darling. I met her actually during the pre-release
We met, na?
promotions ke time.
Promotions ke
That's
time
the
we
time we
met.
met for the
Yes,
first time.
yes.
And so we were there for all those Netflix events and all that. We used to be sitting there like good girls and all that. Maybe not such good girls, but we were sitting together and chatting.
And what are the kind of conversations you both had?
Just the joy. So for me though, it was this only, that I looked at her, I said, your first film, how lucky. It just feels so good.
Yes.
Because everything you do it for the first time in your life. The last time you did that was when you were a child. So when you make your first film, it's the first time that every day begins with that. It's just so
Magical.
brilliant. So I was like envious of her. At the same time, I wanted to feed off that joy of that. Oh my God, she just made her first film. That's so cool.
All three, it was wonderful. Also, women centering the movie, frontlining the movie. It was fantastic.
That's
I mean,
true, and I
very,
think
if you really see Darlings, or if you see Kala and Bulbul, and if you see Bareli Ki Barfi and Neel Bhatte Sonata for that, women are like
All the
frontlining.
films actually.
Yeah, I
Good character.
I
Strong
really-
character.
Yeah. Is there a film that has influenced your life and a film that you would have loved to make?
Gone with the Wind influenced my life very early in life, and Guru Dutt. And Ria, I think Satyajit Ray, I think I watched a bit later. Film that I would love to make. Everything Everywhere All at Once. I watched it and I thought I want to make that film. I don't know why.
And Nita?
Bandhani.
That's very
Oh.
positive. I'm glad,
It's like there are times when I'm watching it that I keep pausing it. I pause it and then I clap. I'm like, what are you doing like that? What have you done? You've made us stand in that apex of the shadow and light in that moment. I mean, what have you done with sound? It's like for me, so I don't watch much, I read more. So I'm majorly influenced by books, but I think I've said this so much in my interviews that I was like, is bari main film bolungi. But truly, I watch before making Bulbul and before making Kala. Ek bar, it's almost like, you go and do that.
Yeah.
I watch Bandhani. Just like it's like a meditation thing. I just watch it for how a story has to be told, how a character has to be built. Through light, through shadow, through performance, through camera, everything. So that to me is my masterclass. I also have a canvas of one of the original,
Really?
the poster canvas. Yeah.
How?
That's also a story I'll tell you about it.
So for me, most of my influences actually, I really like all the 70s and the 80s films. And sometimes most of my films, even today, when I make, I always take the color palette and influence from those times. And for me, Rishikesh Mukherjee has always been my favorite. I just love Guddu.
Goodie.
Goodie.
I just love Guddi. It's
Outside, I just saw it last week.
It's so
Again.
nice. It's such a beautiful
Yeah.
film.
My life motto is
Yeah.
from Rishikesh
Yeah.
Mukherjee, so you can
Yeah.
imagine.
So
Dicky.
it's like
Goodie and Dicky.
it's just everything, the color palette, the kind of saris, the graphicness of the whole thing, the
Yeah.
light and shadow, the way the camera movement was, what it is. I just
small,
love
simple
any of the
themes,
So
na?
when you say
themes.
Bandhani, would you like to? My question to all of you all was, like you said, yeah, in Hindi.
Sahib Bibi Ghulam.
Oh, lovely.
I wish I had. It watches. Yeah. I've seen it many times.
Yours is Bandhani.
No. It's a book. There's a book by, so there's the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett.
Okay.
Okay, within that, there are these books that he's written on the witches. Okay. I would love to direct those.
My daughter reads.
But not one film that you've seen has inspired you to say,
I'll tell
I
you.
wish I'd made
No,
that
that's
film.
the thing. No, there are so many films that I love that it would be sacrilege to touch it. And I'm like, do not touch this. Like when people talk about remaking, कि ये remake नहीं कर सकते.
No, of course not.
But for the
No, not remake. I wish I had made that film. I'd be part of that film.
Yeah.
Which is Sahib Bibi is like a dead. It's like a dead ringer. Yeah. You
But
would
not
want-
remake, of course not. No,
I
no,
think for me,
no,
English it
never.
would be Good Will Hunting. And
Hindi?
and in Hindi there are two films actually, and definitely not. I don't do remakes. I don't want to do remakes. I feel till the time I can tell stories, I would rather. And the classic should, according to me, should never be touched. But
Yeah.
he's a maestro. But Mahanagar is one film
It's a superb
which
film. Yeah.
I do feel that if I had to.
Greedily, if you feel if you could.
I could make
Yeah.
it now. How it would be is oh my god, that's such a beautiful film, and I do not know which movie this line comes from, this dialogue, or maybe it's Managaruli, but the camera angle of how she looks at her husband and she says, "I'm very happy. I'm always happy." the eye, like it's so beautiful.
उसमें गुड्डी भी है. Jaya Bhadri was the younger sister.
And a lot of nice Tamil Malayalam films also.
Oh, now.
I would
Now
love,
especially.
I would love to
Mammootty.
work with Anjali is
Mammootty.
one of my most favorite films.
Which one?
Yeah, yeah,
But even now, there's so much.
yeah. For me, Michael Madan Kamarajan is one of my most favorite films.
So that's Kamala Hassan in 4 roles.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's outstanding. Thank you for being part of this conversation. And lovely having you with me.
Thank you for calling us.
Thank
Lot of
you.
gratitude.
I hope you had fun. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you
Yeah.
for calling us, Blitz. Lot of gratitude.
Yeah, you make Lower
Yeah.
Parents so appealing.
So sexy.